And welcome to WRPB and WRPB Studios. And with me is Darrell Johnson, and he's with Vending for Vets. And, you know, I always tell you about jobs I would love to have done. And if I didn't do this, I would open a pawn shop or a vending company. Because I think there are a few jobs that are really interesting because you're not sitting in an office and you never know what to expect when you go somewhere. Okay, in the pawn shop, they bring in new items. Everything is different. So, you now do vending machines.
That's correct, Wayne.
Okay, why'd you get into that?
Well, I've always been fascinated with vending machines and just the possibility of making money without having to expend as much energy as everybody else out in the street. But vending machines work for you. They don't go on vacation. They may break down, but they don't get sick. They don't go on strike, and you can make money while you're sleeping.
So, let's just talk about a vending machine in general. So, it's mechanical or is it electric now?
They're electrical.
Okay, so how do you decipher what to put in there that you're going to sell that's going to be an item that's going to sell?
Well, basically, I base it on my location, whether it's a laundromat, a garage, a medical facility, and the location. I try and cater to my audience. So, for instance, I have one location that's a more Hispanic Latino clientele, so I tend to put snacks and drinks that they really like and maybe request. And I'm always asking my clients, what would you like to see or not see?
So let's talk about a vending machine. How many items can go in a vending machine?
One of my machines, a snack machine, snack only, can hold about 32 snacks. I have a soda machine that will hold up to 600 sodas, but 9 different varieties. But I like to use a variety machine. It's called a combo machine. Up in the top, it can hold anywhere from 9 to 14 snacks. Down the bottom, about 5 to 9 drinks. And again, I kind of get a lot of feedback as I set it up. I ask everybody in the office, hey, can you leave me some feedback? What sort of items do you like, not like? What sort of candies do you like or not like?
And when you go there, you can see, hey, all the Nestle's Crunch Bars are gone, but the peanut clusters are still here. So I'm not going to put peanut clusters here because they don't sell. Do you have any items that are such popular sellers that you double up 2 rows for?
No, it's funny because Takis were popular for a while, and then
Right.
people decided not to go for Takis. I've probably the most unpopular items are the crackers. A lot of the peanut butter crackers, the cheese crackers, the onion and chive crackers. Those aren't popular. People don't seem to want them as much as I thought. So I end up pulling those out, and then I give them to other causes. Or
What's your biggest seller
the biggest seller
in the candy thing?
in the candy, they love the British Rotello bars, but probably the biggest seller are Kit Kats
Kit Kat, I
and
get that.
yeah,
Kit Kats I get.
and the Twix.
It's funny because, like Twix, you see all the commercials, and we're a society of we watch commercials and then we buy those items.
Right.
Okay, so the interesting thing about you is that you're already getting the marketing without having to do the marketing, because they already have advertisements for Kit Kats and Twix and that stuff. How about the chips? Do chips go?
Chips are pretty popular. People like both Doritos, the red and the blue. Um, they also like the jalapeno chips, the Miss Vicky's. So they like the jalapeno, salt and vinegar.
Do you carry Coke products, Pepsi products?
Coke, Pepsi, Diet Coke, Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew is probably one of the biggest sellers.
Really?
Yes.
See, no, I wouldn't think that. I would think that Pepsi or Coke, and then I would think a white soda like 7 Up or Sprite.
Well, when I started, I did a lot of research on YouTube, watched hours and hours of videos,
Okay.
and I was told that Dr. Pepper and Mountain Dew would be the most popular. Turns out some locations they don't even drink it, whereas others I can't keep it stocked.
And that's an interesting thing about business, especially your kind of business, because you have to put in items A, B, C, D, and then 2 weeks later, when you go look, you see the D didn't go. You got to pull D because that's just wasting real estate,
Right.
and put in F and see if F is going to sell. So it's really a trial by fire.
Absolutely. One of the things I learned also is I have 4 machines, so if something doesn't sell in one machine, I'll take it out, put it in another location, and swap them out. Because sometimes one thing that sells in another location won't sell as good as in a different location.
Do your machines take bills also?
I have two machines that are take cashless payments. So not only do they take quarters and dollars, but they'll take credit cards, debit
Really?
cards, phone, iPay, Google Pay.
So do those? Okay, so the ones that take debit cards, credit cards, and stuff like that, do they have to be hooked up to a phone line or an internet line?
Well, it just runs off the regular power that you power the machine to keep it cold, or just to
Right.
keep the lights on and keep the motors running. And the modem will send a signal to tell the bank how much money was used on a debit card, credit card, or a phone.
Oh,
And
interesting.
so it tracks it like that. I can look on my tablet and at any time tell how many sales I've had at one location versus another, and how much was cash and how much was cashless.
Can you tell? Okay, so are the machines so sophisticated that you can tell what's left in the machine without having to go there?
You can, if you pay more for the service, it'll tell you by item whether it's Doritos, whether it's Fritos.
Oh, okay.
But right now it tells me what coil and how much that machine is sold. So if I get a lot of sales, I know I need to go check that machine and make sure it's not getting low on a particular item.
Interesting, because you use the word coil, and those are the things that spin around and where they push the item out.
Right.
Okay. Do coils come in different sizes, like different spacings?
Absolutely. So if you want to use a bag of chips, the coils are a lot wider. Okay. Candy bars, the coils are narrower, so you can change the sizes depending on what's popular or what you want to sell more of. And another thing they don't tell you is when it comes to items, things go stale. So
Right.
chips, crackers, pastries, you may find that after a month or two they don't sell. Well, you have to take those out and
Because they expired.
it's expired.
Interesting.
Now some vending companies will leave it in there
Right.
because they know a person that puts their $1, $2 in there is not going to call them up for that $1 or $2.
They're not even going to look. I don't
No.
even think I've ever looked when I bought from a vending
I've
machine.
never either.
So now, the combo machines, the bottom section, I guess, is refrigerated.
Right. And the top half is not, but some of the cold air kind of circulates. But
Does it? Okay, so now my next question is, you said that Mountain Dew is the biggest seller. More than water?
water is on par with Mountain Dew.
Okay.
I've even tried root beer, thinking people like root beer because
Right.
the root beer doesn't sell too well. The Fanta Orange sells pretty good. Pepsi sells good, and believe it or not, Diet Coke is a pretty good seller.
You know, it's interesting because that's what makes us so great is that we have all these choices. But that's what makes a business person have a difficult time because
Right.
there are thousands of items that you can put in there.
Well, you know what I did is I would go to car dealerships, I'd go to laundromats, and I'd look and see what items they had. I'd take pictures of it, and I'd look and kind of say, okay, would this be a good item in my machine, or should I try this versus that? And then I'd look and see what prices they were charging. So I would always try and stay under those prices too.
So if you looked at a machine, basically, that's open, you can see the coils.
Yes.
So if you saw the Nestle's bar only had 2 left, you would probably think that's a big seller,
Right.
and that's what I want to get.
Right.
Interesting. So it really is not that you just get a machine and throw it somewhere, because you really have to know what to put in there, and you have to have a place to put it.
Right.
Was that the hardest part?
That is the hardest part, and you have to be comfortable with knocking on doors and talking to business owners and asking them if they're willing to let you put a machine in there. And one of the things I like to bring up, if I go into a business, if I notice they don't have a snack machine, I'll ask them, I notice you don't have a snack machine or a soda machine, for your customers or employees, And then I let them know that if you have a snack machine, it keeps your customers happy, and if they have little kids, the kids are going to be quieter. And also the employees don't have to leave the work site if they want to go get a soda or grab a bag of chips or a candy bar.
Do you get a lot of, I'd say to say, a lot of rejection from businesses saying, "Nah, don't be bothering me with that"?
Yeah, they've been kind of gentle though. I also have a referral fee. So if somebody refers me to a business and they sign a contract, I give that person $100 referral. So that helped me with a couple of my locations.
Okay, so do the locations get a percentage?
Some will ask for a percentage, and normally the going rate is about 10%. I have one location that asks for 15%. And normally if a location asks for a percentage, sometimes the prices are marked up a little bit to compensate for that.
Right.
Whereas if a business doesn't want a percentage, the prices will be probably 10, 15 cents lower.
Well, they're paying, when you really think about it, they're paying for the real estate that you put your machine on,
Right.
and they're paying for the electric.
Absolutely.
So it kind of makes some sense. And not that it happens that often, but every so often someone's going to have a problem. And they then have to deal with that problem and have them call you. But it
Right.
still takes time because that person's going to come to them before they go to you.
Absolutely. And I really hate for them to complain to the business owner, so I make sure I have a card on there and I tell the business owner, if you have any problems, contact me immediately. I also put a card on there. I also leave money with each individual business in an envelope. So in case the machine takes anybody's money or they lose $1, all they got to do is,
Go into petty cash.
and that makes the customer happy if they can get their
Right.
money back right away.
And that's really the issue is really, and most businesses don't understand that customer service is the answer.
That's the key.
Okay? Especially when you're in the attorney's office and your biggest buyers are the employees because they're there every day.
Right.
Okay? And let's just say that there's 15 employees, spending $1 or $2 every day. It adds up.
It does.
Okay? So do you go home and then go and dump all your quarters on a table? 2.50 cents a dollar.
I actually got smart and I bought
a
a
machine?
coin sorter machine.
Okay.
Because my soda machine it can pull in $80 in coins alone, and so you don't want to sit there with counting $80 in quarters and maybe $160 in cash. So I count the cash by hand, but the coins go in the machine, and I take those to the bank, give them the big bag, and they put it in their machine and sort them out.
You keep some coins because you have to have coins in your machine. That's
Yeah.
change.
Every time you start a machine or set it up, you should put at least a roll of quarters, dimes, and a roll of nickels.
For change.
Yeah, otherwise the machine will not vend. So it has to have so much change ahead of time, otherwise it won't vend.
And when it doesn't vend, that's money lost.
It's money lost. So sometimes if the weather's bad, the modem on the machine won't connect with the bank, and it won't take people's credit cards or debit cards. So I have to go out and reset the machine. So
there's work to be done. I don't want you to think that, hey, you just buy a machine, put some stuff in it, and then leave and don't worry about it. It doesn't work that way. It's
No.
still a job.
right.
Okay? Now, what about when the machine goes down? Have you learned to repair them?
It helps if you have if you're tech savvy in a way. I have a machine now. It's a soda machine. It's in a laundromat, and the motor's making a lot of noise. So I have to go tomorrow and I have to pull that motor out and see if it's the fan or if it's the whole motor. And I have to be able to fix it myself quickly or find somebody to fix it.
Okay, do you have contacts that fix machines?
No, because this is kind of the first major problem, if you want
Okay.
to call it major, that I've had. So I'm pretty confident I can pull the motor out, look at the fan and all that, and check it out, and even replace it with a new fan. But if you're not mechanically or tech savvy, you will pay a lot of money for getting a technician to come out.
That's pretty interesting because remember, we're working on quarters and dollar bills. We're not working on $100 or $200 items.
Right.
So it takes a lot of quarters to get a $400 fan and have someone come in and replace it. Okay, that's X amount of days or months or weeks of that machine having to be there, not producing any money for the business.
Absolutely.
Well, we're getting to the top of the time. I just wanted to add this. So you decided to do this venture, but I guess like me, you believe that the only way someone can be successful is to give back.
Right.
So you called it Vending for Vets,
Absolutely.
and a percentage of what you make, you donate back to veteran charities?
So, particularly homeless veterans. So, my first premise when I set this business up was to provide healthier snack choices and soda choices. So, low sugar sodas, sugar-free energy drinks, some juices, water. When it comes to snacks, I want to put protein bars, peanuts, almonds, things like that. And then 10% of my proceeds goes towards helping local homeless veterans. So I donate to some of the various causes. And a good friend of mine and his wife, Anthony and Stacy Solomon, they started Tent City Helpers, which helps homeless people in the Martin County area. And it's kind of a shame because we're one of the richest counties and we have a high number of homeless veterans behind some of the,
Walmart, I know
Walmart,
that.
Lowe's,
I
places
used to
like
live in
that.
Stewart.
Right. So I like to, buy toiletries, clothes, lotion, socks, things, anything that they need, shoes, so,
Interesting enough, they say that socks are the most requested items in homeless shelters.
and least given, yes. So,
I find that's really strange. Because for me, I can't wait to be barefoot. I'm like, if I get here before everybody else and I know what's coming in for now, all for the shoes. I don't wear socks anyway, so it's not a big deal for me. But that's interesting. I can see up north because it's cold.
right,
But here it's like, even my doctor said, Wayne, find a patch of grass, go to the beach, take off your shoes and socks. I said, I don't wear socks. He said, and walk barefoot because it's grounding yourself.
ground yourself, absolutely.
And that was interesting to me because unlike your thoughts, I don't eat healthy food. Okay? So I'm a meat and potatoes, I'm a New Yorker and New Jersey kind of guy. So those are my home areas. And we eat meat and potatoes. That's us. All right, so you decided that I'm going to start this business, and my blessing in this business is I'm going to be able to help other people.
Right, and that was a big seller when I talk to businesses and I say 10% of the proceeds goes towards helping homeless vets. A lot of them say, hey, I'm all about helping the vets. And that's a big seller.
And people don't understand, you might say 10%, but if you're giving them 10%, okay, and then you're giving the location 10%, it's 20% that's coming off of the top,
Right.
okay, and then 30 or 40% is for the item,
Oh, you've done your homework.
okay, so now on $1, you're making 20 cents.
And you hit the nail on the head. And also, I have to take some out for my gas when I drive to check the machines. Insurance in case the machine breaks down, I have to pay.
Right.
So
And you got to put away money in case the machine breaks down and you got to have it fixed.
about 20% on each dollar is my profit.
Wow, I had those things right in the head. Those are lucky guesses. But I've been in business a long time and I get it. Like people think here, if we charge someone to do a video, okay, so let's say we charge $300 for an edited video, they don't realize that these lights take a lot of electric, the computer takes a lot of electric, the computer costs are very high. To buy those computers, very high. The cameras are very expensive, okay, and when they break, it's a fortune. I had to fix that camera, I think, and takes 2 chips. I have to put the top chip doesn't work anymore, the slide for it, okay, it's $490 to fix,
Wow.
okay. It's ridiculous. The lights don't come on by themselves. Okay, so when you take a $300 sale, and you pay the editor, your salespeople, the marketing, the money for the site, you're walking away with $65. It's not like you're making a ton of money, but everybody thinks that you're making a lot of money.
Right. So let me ask you, do you know how to fix a lot of this stuff?
I can't fix like the chip thing and stuff like that. And I won't open the cameras to fix them, but I will do the wiring. Okay? And we have a guy here, Edgar, who's an amazing editor and very tech savvy. So things that I can't do, he'll do. You remember, we buy a program to make us look like we're on the set here. That has to be put up. The backgrounds have to be put up. We put your names on the lower thirds. They have to be put up. You have to learn how to do all that stuff. Me, I'm older than dirt, so I don't want to learn anything anymore.
Right.
Okay? So you have all the younger people. But I'm very lucky because we have a great staff. And Beverly, who comes on and does sales here, ended up kind of learning to do the camera, learning to do some of the editing. We have a great team. It's got its issues because it's like a marriage.
Right.
Okay? But we're blessed to have a good team, and we work together well. And when we have an issue, I step up and fix it because I'm here the longest,
Right.
and I know the most because I've been doing this the longest. But Edgar does things that I can't do. Okay, Beverly will work behind the computer there now. I don't know how to do it. Okay. Now, could I do it? Of course. But
Right.
do I know how to do it? No, it's not something I do. The programs they work on in sales and stuff, they know how to do. I don't work on them. I'm very much laid back already. I do my thing, and that's what makes the company work. We have people that are experts, for lack of a better word, in the things that they do. This is my wheelhouse. I've been interviewing forever, interviewed every celebrity. So it's very comfortable for me to interview. And people come here nervous and then they walk out happy. And I know the marketing end. But I love entrepreneurs because people who go and get a job, the acronym for job is just above broke.
You're working for somebody else.
Okay? And the funny thing is I can work for someone else and probably make more money than I make here. But I don't know if anybody would want to hire me because I have no filter, and I just say and do what I want to do. Anyway, I earned that. I'm 63. Right. I earned it. I take care of my mom. She's 89 today, and
it's a blessing.
She has no filter at all. And I'm just like my mom. Yeah, it is a blessing. You get one mom.
Right.
I took her out of assisted living, moved her in with me.
That's very noble of you.
So
I commend you.
it's really changes your whole life to be a caregiver, but it is what it is, and I'm blessed to have her. How many people say, if I only had one more day with my parents?
Absolutely.
I don't have that. But this is really about you, and the fact that you're willing to take the little bit of profit that you make and donate some of it back, that's a blessing that you do, and you can't buy that, okay? When I do something for charity work, like we did a 45,000 pound food giveaway in Fort Pierce, we give cars to single moms. Those, you can't buy that feeling that you get from doing that. And that's a blessing. When you can hand over a check to a check, that's just a blessing. How do people contact you? You have a website?
My website is vendingforvets.com, all one word. My email is vendingforvets@att.net. And be glad to try and help anybody out and place a machine in their location.
Yep. And if you know somebody who has a business, okay, and can use a machine, and the reason I say that is I don't want you to think that it's about just about him, because we're here in this office and we have 7 of us, I think, and we're always running out to get food. I have a water machine. I snag chocolate from my house and I bring it in and I hide it so that nobody asks me for it. Okay, but I remember working at a place where there was vending machines, and even if you didn't want, you ended up getting something, a soda.
Right.
3 o'clock, you're kind of tired. You get a soda or stuff like that. So it surely has its advantages. I used to have a soda machine in one of my other locations, and it was always empty, and they wouldn't come. So now it was empty, and if you don't have someone who takes care of it, people are going to complain.
Right, and that's why when I started, I know you can't afford to buy all brand new machines because it's expensive and it takes forever to pay them off. However, my machines are high tech, so if somebody presses a button, it's gonna and it vends the item. If it doesn't break this infrared beam, then it doesn't take their money and it lets them make another selection. My machines are ADA compliant, which means American with Disabilities. So if you're in the wheelchair, they can reach all the buttons on the machines, including the dispenser. It's also got Braille on all the buttons, so if they're vision impaired or blind, they can actually determine the button number. And they run on low energy, so any business is worried about that. They don't consume a lot of electricity. And they're just lit, nice and lit up. I mean, they attract the customer.
Cool. Guys, check them out. Okay, vendingforvets.com. And have a good day. We'll be right back.